Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Today I will show you how to calculate earthwork. We need to calculate earthwork in the construction of new roads and embankment and their receptioning work. We also need it for estimating and to know the progress of any excavation work in canal and river. Firstly, I will show you how to download the software from Google. You have to type as HOHIDUZZAMAN. Then you will see sites.google.com site Shodijaman. You have to click on my website. You will see Earthwork Estimating Software and Earthwork Estimator 2020. You can click any link. Here you will see installation procedure and how to use it. For installation procedure, you can click on any of these three link. So I'll click Dropbox to download the zip file. The zip file is now being downloaded. So I'll open the zip file. I have to right click here on the zip file, then open with Windows Explorer. Then you have to again right click on the folder and you have to copy the folder. Now we have to paste the folder in C drive program files. If there is no folder in the C drive name with name program files, then we have to create a folder with name program files. Then we have to paste it here. It will take some time to being copied. In the meantime, I will show you. The installation procedure is complete when the copying is complete. So in this folder, you will see lots of Excel file, and this is arthurestimator.exe. This is the executable file. You need to copy it and paste it in the desktop. So I'll paste it here. This is the executable file. Then every Excel file is can be used as an input file. So I'll just show I'll just copy this resectioning of embankment, call estimate, and Borbaga river. Okay, this Excel file I'll show you how to run. So firstly, call estimate. For estimating, we just need this type of Excel file. The As this is only for estimating, we have just four Excel sheet. First is design section, then sections, abstract and detail. Abstract and detail will be automatically generated. But design section, we have to give all the design related input, and in the sections, we have to give all the chainage and sections. So I'll now describe how to provide the input. First, the type of work is re-excavation or resectioning. If it is resectioning, we have to give the resectioning. Select resectioning or re-excavation. Firstly, I will show you re-excavation also. This is re-excavation. Chain is in kilometers. So here we have to see. I will show you from this folder. This is better. Earthwork estimator. Sorry, not this. Khal estimate.pdf. This shows the design of this Khal estimate.xls input. So this is the design. Here the chain is in kilometers. So we have to use kilometer as chain as kilometers. If that was in meters, then we have to choose meters. left bank slope and right bank slope. As both bank slopes are on 1.5, we have provided this. This is the most important parameter. How will we set the design section in the pre-work or post-work? The design section, the software can choose in such a way that the earthwork would be minimum. Just if we shift the design section rightward, the earthwork would definitely increase. In the leftward, the earthwork would definitely increase. This is the position where the earthwork is minimum. The software will automatically calculate the position where the earthwork would be minimum. This is lowest start. In that case, you don't have to provide the position of the center line. You also can provide manual. If you provide manual, then you have to give center line distance in every section, the pre-work and post-work. You can also provide top or bottom or middle. In that case, the design section will be placed in the middle of the pre-work or post-work. So firstly, it is better to run the software and see where the design section is placed. Then if we need any shifting, we can do all the shifting work. First, this is the lowest start. I will provide lowest start. Then chain is in kilometer. So at 0 kilometer, design bed level is minus 1.90 as described in the design. And at 15.50, the bed level is minus 0.97. At 15.50, the design bed level is minus 0.970. All the values in middle shall be interpolated. But the bed width here is not interpolated. It is fixed for fixed length. So from 0 to 4 kilometer, the design bed width is 8 meter. Then it is 7 meter, 6 meter, and 5 meter. So this way we also have to provide 0 to 4 meter, the design bed width is 8, 4 to 8 meter, the design bed width is 7, 6, 5, and 5 to remaining is 12 to 15.50, it is 12. So if for this type of design where bed width is fixed for at a fixed length, constant width at a fixed length, we have to choose design bed weight type. Another type of design can be where the bed width here is 8 meter and bed width here is 5 meter, and in between every place the bed width is interpolated. So in that case, if that was the design, then in that case we would select interpolated width. So as our design is fixed for the fixed length, which is constant width at fixed length. These are the how to print the detailed output. How many rows should be in a page, and row gaps after section. Row gaps after section means these two row. If we need AutoCAD drawing, then we will select please provide AutoCAD drawing. Calculate progress is no, as this is only for estimating, then we need to provide calculate progress is equal to no. In the section worksheet, all other remaining input does not have any significance, that it is no. But in the color control, we may change the red, green, and blue. The value must be from 0 to 255, and by changing this value, we can see how the outputs are provided. So, as calculate progress is no, we don't need to think about this. And then in the second Excel sheet sections, we have to give how many sections the software need to process. First of all, I will process 23 sections. Here the chain is given. Center line distance is not necessary as it is lowest at. The software would automatically determine where the design section can be placed. Then the distance another. We should remember that there must be gap. If we write something on that, then software would also try to read this. So we have to avoid this. And when we provide entry, we also make sure that all that are numbered. If any cell value is not a number, then the software will provide a warning that section number 4 does not contain number or this sorts of warning. Then you can correct it and rerun the software. So we'll run 23 sections, and this is the abstract. You may see that here 32 sections are provided, but when we will run, we'll see only 23 sections output. In the detailed, we also have 32, but when we will run, then we'll see only 23. So the Excel file is ready. Now we can run the software. So this is our Excel file while we have provided all the design input, section input, 23 sections, and then we will just simply click this after the copying is complete, I think. So the software is ready to run. Earthwork estimator.exe will run. In that case, we will click more info and run anyway. Then we will just click open Excel file, and from the desktop we will click the estimate.xls. This will run the software. So calculation is successful. It has taken 5 seconds. Number of section process 23. In between section there was no gap. This is a continuous work. Total volume of the artwork is this come. Then if we click OK, then in the same name, estimate.xls was our input file. So estimate.dwg, a drawing file would be generated, and here all the AutoCAD drawings will be provided. Now all the section has been generated. Now if we see section 1, here the area cutting area is 7.533, these two portion. For section 2 it is 0.002, so there must be cutting somewhere there. So there must be right at cutting this small portion. So for this to a small portion to achieve the design bed design section, at the cutting area is 0.002. This is all the 23 sections has and design section has been generated. Now suppose here in every section the design section is placed in such a way where the artwork is minimum. But suppose we have a very important structure here. We do not want to destabilize the bank here. We would like to shift it rightward. Suppose we would like to shift this bank 1.3 meter. More or less here. At section number 7. And at section number 15 we would like to shift it 1.5. 1.3 and 1.5 at section number 7 and 15 we'd like to shift, as there are important structures here, we need to shift the excavation rightward. So how can we do that? It's very easy. We can go to the Excel file. Here we may select manual, and at section 7 we may shift the section by 1.3 meter by just plus 1.3, and in section 15 we may shift it 1.5 meter. we would like to see how the area of these two sections have changed. So at section 7, we may here to keep a record. At section 15, the area is 6036. We have kept a record. Now save. Now if we rerun the software and see what happened to the two sections. Sometimes there is a, based on the Excel version, you may have to find out this stays behind the main window. So if we now see the section 7, we'll see that the design section has been shifted rightward by 1.3 meter, and at section 15 it has also shifted rightward. So in both sections the area must have increased. All other design sections were as usual, whereas it is. So if we now open the Excel file, we will see that the amount of excavation has changed in those two sessions. So this has increased from this to this. This has also increased from this to this. Now I will show you a recessioning work with the post-hoc data. Suppose we would like to see what is inside this Excel file, recessioning and cushion amendment. Here, design section, decisioning meters, lowest earth. This lowest earth is as calculate progress is yes here. We have to keep three extra Excel sheet. This one is input and this two is output automatically generated. So this is post-hoc must be provided as our calculate progress is equal to yes. Center line type is equal to manual. So firstly we will run this as lowest earth. Let's see what happens. Calculate full session. If we need to calculate the full session, we can give yes, no problem. Add intermediate point. If we would like to add intermediate point, we basically do not need it. But this is very important. If in recessioning work, the earth is excavated inside the design section, then this must be subtracted. This area must be subtracted, and sometimes contractors in the excavation work excavate the earth inside the design section and place it inside the design section. In that case, the amount of earthwork that is inside the design section must be subtracted. So if we want to see how much earth, excavated earth was placed inside the design section for excavation work, then we may first give no and then give yes. And the difference will say that this amount of earth the contractor has placed inside the design section for excavation work, and for decisioning work, this amount of earthwork has been excavated from the design section. So this should always be yes for accurate answer. So here calculate progress yes, the P work is 25. We'll just run 13 sections, and in the post work it is linked, so it must be 13 sections. Here one thing is there is a gap. So the first work is from 5000 to 5016 16 meter long. Then there is a gap. There is no work. The embankment is quite okay. Then 6800 to 6822, 22 meter work. Then there is another gap. Then 7202, the work is continuous. In the post work, the number should be same, but if you do not provide gap, then it's okay. The software will calculate all the gaps from the POC sessions. And P abstract, the gap would be calculated accordingly. In the post abstract, it would also be calculated accordingly. So if we now run the resectioning works and see what happens. All the section has been generated. Now if we see some sections, suppose in these sections, this is the pre-work, this color we have selected, this red color is the post-work, and this green is the design. Here it is very important to note that it is impossible to cut here, cut this pre-work by this red post-work, this portion, and fill this portion. No one does this, and actually it was not happened. But the calculation is mostly accurate. We have to remember that in Earthwork calculation, it is not possible to calculate 100% accurate. We have to go through always approximation. This basically shows that here the contractor has achieved the design section. Here this is the post work, so contractor has completed the work. He has achieved the design section. That's why there is no more works to do. But if you want to show how the actual work was done, we have to move this portion to here to there to match the pre-work with the post-work. Now it is matched, but we have to know that the design section must have to be shifted to the left. But if we shift the design section, then it will definitely increase the or change the estimate. So for not changing the estimate, we always keep the pre-work as it is, design section as it is. It was our target, and based on that, we just place the post work in such a way to determine how much work is remaining. So from here, it is clear that the contractor has achieved the design section. So some people may not understand why here is cutting, here is filling, why the design pre-work and post-work did not match, and how so this calculation is not okay. But one thing is, you always have option to shift. You may shift the design section leftward as it was. This would increase the estimate. And again, you may also shift the postward leftward. Suppose we have to shift it leftward 1.66 meter. It easily can be shifted by this decision one. Let open. You can shift it here by choosing manual, the postward. And in the postword, in the section 6, we may the post torque section would be shifted leftward, so we have to add this reverse from the period 1.66. So if the post torque was shifted rightward, then we subtracted it, but as the post torque is now being shifted to the leftward, then it will just plus or addition. We have to use the addition. Now if we run the software again, we'll see that in number 6 section, The post work has been shifted leftward by 1.66 meter. Here we have the post work is shifted, but this calculation is not accurate. Why it is not accurate? Because the design section is not shifted. So in this case, we have to change the shift the design section from the pre-work by using the manual as shown previously. So basically, it is always better to estimate second time. So before work, we make a estimate, and after completion of the work or after doing a 50% or 60% of the work, or we may again make estimate of the same embankment or canal excavation work again, and we may this second estimate determines how much earthwork is needed to achieve the design section. So if we just subtract it from the initial or first estimate, then we will get amount of earthwork done. This is always better, as this does not create any confusion from the pre-work and post-work. The pre-work or post-work and post-work are placed separately. So this always creates confusion, and sometimes some people does not want to understand that why there is filling, why there is cutting, how is that possible. But this is okay, this is absolutely okay. You can be very confident about the calculation, as the contractor has basically filled this. Basically the contractor did the artwork this way. So if we change the keep the or shift the design section here, then everything would be as it is, but we don't need to do this. It is absolutely okay. The calculation is okay, but you have options to do everything, to shift every section how you like to shift. But it's always better to subtract to estimate work done estimate, and then the estimate of the initial deduct it from the initial estimate to get the work done. So finally, now I will run another Excel file that is Borovaga River. Let's see what's inside it. It's excavation work. So then it's the excavation. Changes is in meters. Lowest earth. Lowest earth here calculate progress is yes. Design as it is. So here pre-accession is 14. We may, as there are lots of input, we may increase it to 15 to process 15 sections. Pre-work is 15, post-work is 15. This should be the same. So if we run this, we will say how the calculation is done. Cut, this was the target. This way we wanted to make the excavation. But the contractor cut this portion but placed it inside the design section. It is very important to note. In both sides, the contractor has placed the excavated earth inside the design section. So this portion of earth must be subtracted from the earthwork. So that's why we placed yes to subtract any cutting or filling inside the design section. So here you also can shift everything pre-work, post-work, Here the contractor has excavated side or more. This side he has excavated more, but definitely this is outside the design section and shall not be in count. But here he did not achieve the design bed level. So he will just, this is the post work based on the design, and this is the pre-work. He will get this excavated amounts bill. So if there is any confusion, it's better to use estimate second time after completion of the work and deduct it from the original estimate. And here the drawings are separated, so pre-work, post-work, and design section all are separated. So this way we can calculate earthwork for construction of road, embankment, and re-excavation work. And if you face any problem using the software, you can contact me in this email. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.